The third agenda is speech from the speaker. The fourth agenda is question and answer session. And the last agenda is closing. All right, now we will move to the second agenda, that is greeting from our Department of Management, Faculty of Economic and Business, Dr. Eli Siswanto. Time is yours, Doctor.
Thank you, Ms. Della. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Pak.
The honorable speaker, Dr. Rosmiza Bidin. She is an adjunct professor in Department of Management. Dear Department of Management leaders, on the committee and audience were happy, Alhamdulillah. This morning we were able to attend the non-degree training series activities organized by the Department of Management in good health. This activity is a series of several series that we hold to provide a value added to students, both undergraduate and postgraduate, especially about research method. The participants of this activity are students both from within UM itself and foreign students. At least there are 7 participants from Japan, Pakistan, Malaysia, China, Nigeria, and Sudan. Welcome our participant. We will try to present qualified speakers from abroad and from within the Department of Management. These 2 days we will get material from our speaker, Dr. Rosmiza Bidin. We will receive material on SLR, systematic literature review today, and framing analysis on tomorrow. Inshallah, we will hold the next series with speakers from internally, namely Ms. Tri Setia and Ms. Ruli, our PhD candidate from UKM and UKM Malaysia and Leiden University, Holland. I hope we can all get significant input in the context of our scientific development. I would like to thank our speakers, Dr. Rosmiza Bidin, or Kak Ros, who has been willing to give material this morning. Thank you also to the entire committee for their efforts in setting up this activity. Thank you for the participants who participated in this activity. Thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Eli, for that greeting. Now, we will move to the next agenda that we were waiting for. So, the main agenda is the workshop about systematic literature review, right, Dr. A systematic literature review is a method to review relevant literature in your field through a highly rigorous and systematic process. And this topic will be presented by Dr. Rosmiza Bidin, Adjunct Professor, Department of Management, Faculty of Economic and Business, Universitas Negeri Malang, from University Putra, Malaysia. Dr. Rosmiza dan her PhD in Corporate Communication, School of Communication, University Sains, Malaysia, and currently she is senior lecturer in Department of Communication, Faculty of Modern Language, and a complex communication professional with 15 years of distinguished performance and research in education. Now, let's please welcome our presenter, Dr. Rosmiza Bidin. Dr. Ros, Kak Ros, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for joining this session. My name is Rosmiza. I'm from UPM. So if you happen to be in UPM, please contact me. Okay, yeah, please contact me. I'm at the Faculty of Modern Languages and Communication. As been mentioned by the MC just now, my specialization is on corporate communication, on branding, on strategic communication with stakeholders, yeah, and any topics related to organizational communication. Okay, so for today, I'm going to share a very basic, I would say that this is a basic systematic literature review. Okay, so and previously I have prepared the note. I have translated the original notes was in English, but I've translated the note to Indonesia. But don't worry, because we have international participant here, I will explain, okay, using English so that everybody will understand. So we have the note in Bahasa Indonesia, and then I will explain in English. So I think that shouldn't be a problem. Okay, yeah, boleh. Okay. So let's start. Can you please move to the next first slide? Okay. I have prepared this with my PhD student, Dr. Cik Fitri. He's graduated now. He finished his PhD study. Okay. So can you please move to the next okay, first slide? Okay, now let me define before, because I think I'm very sure CLR methodology has gaining momentum nowadays. Many people are now trying to understand and write SLR paper related using SLR methodology. Okay, what is actually SLR? Okay, look at this. This is the definition of systematic literature review. Now, previously, this methodology is related to literature review. Okay, previous methodology, we normally use a manual way of searching for articles, right? We search in the internet, we collect, and then we read and we find important information to be included in our literature review. So that is what we normally do, especially students. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so what is actually SLR? SLR is actually the same, which is you trying to find more literature to support your research. Okay, tapi the difference is, okay, so SLR is the same, where you search for research and you read carefully, you evaluate, okay, those previous research. But the difference is this methodology uses systematic and very clear methodology. Okay, so you can elaborate in your write-up that these are the processes, very systematic processes. Okay, and not only it is systematic, it can also be replicated. Let's say in the future, someone would like to write the same methodology, using the same methodology, they can just follow your procedure. Okay, so it is replicable, it is systematic, and it is rigorous. All right, so therefore, this is a literature search with rigorous and systematic methodology. Okay, and this is what actually seek by a top journal. Okay, so don't worry. After this, I will show you the basic steps on how you do SLR, and after that you can do your own study. You can study and understand further on how do you do advanced SLR. Boleh ya? Okay, next. Wow, okay, so is this methodology new? Okay, because I mentioned to you just now, SLR, previously we have old methodology, traditional methodology of searching kan, for literature review. Is this SLR new? No. Okay, if you look at my note, this started 1889. Okay, so this is quite I would say that this practice has been established long before. Okay, as early as 1889. So this is and the methodology is based on search in Scopus previously, yeah. So you can use a search string, okay, or we call that query string. So what about Malaysia? In Malaysia, it started at 1986, okay. 1889 was not in Malaysia, okay, in the West. So 1889, it started in Malaysia. So when we run, we check, okay, how many articles were published using SLR between 1986 to 2018 in Malaysia. We found 15,000 articles, okay. And then we run again between 1986 to 2022, and now we found 36 or 37,000 articles. So between 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, about 4 years, we managed to write, double the publication, okay, more than double of the previous publication. Okay, so it's gaining momentum in Malaysia. What about in Indonesia? Indonesia started this using this methodology in 2003. And it was medical discipline that used this methodology, okay? And then we run between 2003 and 2022 search, we found 1,660 articles using SLR, okay? So gaining momentum, don't worry, even though the number is small compared to Malaysia, for example, but you have the responsibility to increase the number. I'm very sure you will be able to produce more. Last year, I have conducted the same training here in Malang, and surprisingly, one undergraduate student contacted me, and she asked me to guide her to produce SLR, and I was so impressed. At the end, when I read the end result, I found the article was quite impressive. I will share with you, and I told her you should publish this in Scopus by student from S1, undergraduate student. Yeah, so that should be a challenge for you. S2, S3, young researcher, young academics, okay? Because this is this methodology is user friendly, okay? You can learn this, you can do this, provided that you have the information, okay? So 1660, please increase this. I want to see more papers in the future. Okay, next slide. Okay, and I tried to, this is one example, SLR and a language, for example. This is to show you how SLR was used in different discipline, yeah? So I choose this SLR and language, and I analyzed, not really analyzed, we just do few statistics and searching in the internet. Okay, so for example, if you want to study SLR in language, for example, I search for the use of Bahasa Indonesia in education, and I found 44 articles in Scopus itself, okay? But however, only one article written in Bahasa Indonesia. So what a shame, kan? The same goes to Bahasa Malaysia also. Out of 55 articles on Bahasa Malaysia in education, we found 55 articles, only 3 use Bahasa Malaysia. So I think this should be our aim in the future, kan? To write more SLR paper, not only in related to language, yeah, but also in your area of study, for example, business or any other area. Our aim is to write more SLR in our own language, Bahasa Malaysia, Bahasa Indonesia, or any other bahasa. Okay, so and also to write more in to represent our country, kan? Okay, so Bahasa Arab, only 75 articles using SLR. That was when we searched in 1984 to 2022. Okay, so this methodology is still not so famous, but is gaining momentum. Okay, look at Bahasa Jerman. We have 282 articles from 1968 to 2022. Okay, next slide. Now, one question here. So, your intention, for example, of course, everybody's aim is to publish your article in index journal, right? The higher ranking, the better. JCR, for example, Scopus. So now, but you know that these journals, they ask for strong methodology. So do you really need to produce an article with data? For example, you collected data, you have the statistic and whatnot. Only that you can publish to index journal? Not necessarily. Okay. Now we have this form of article, literature review name SLR article. And I can show you here that we have many articles of SLR articles published in Scopus and Web of Science. Okay, so not previously, when we target for high index journal, we might say that, oh, I'm so sorry, I don't have data. My research not being completed, or I am only at the stage of writing literature, so I don't think I can produce I can produce high index journal this year, you know. So that is a misconception. Okay, even though you are at the stage of writing literature, chapter 2 or even chapter 1, okay, you can publish SLR. Now, how can you publish SLR when you develop your chapter 1, for example? So what do you do when you develop your chapter 1? You find literature to show your research gap. Betul tak? Research gap. So contextual gap, theoretical gap, research problem gap. Okay. Masalah apa yang what are the problems that you want to solve? So that is research gaps kan? What are the current problem that you want to solve through this research? So normally we will talk about contextual gap, theoretical gap, methodological gap, kan? So these are the gaps, okay, that you want to fill, kan? So you do literature review, okay? So for that purpose, you can also do SLR. So to find your research gap, you do SLR, okay, and you search, and then you will find some gaps highlighted by previous findings. So that way, your research problem is stronger because you do not only base on what happened as reported in the newspaper and so on, but you also find the gaps in the literature. Kan? So your literature is your gaps, okay, that you found is very strong. Okay, so you can start with SLR for your chapter 1. And chapter 2, of course, you have many areas in your chapter 2 because every variable's been elaborated, kan? Betul tak? So you have you elaborate your independent variable, you elaborate your research context, you elaborate your dependent variable, you elaborate your mediating or moderating variable. So each and every one has potential to be to use SLR and produce article, SLR articles. Okay, so ternyata from your chapter 1 and chapter 2, you can produce actually more than 3 articles. Banyak kan? Okay, so it's doable. All right, so don't worry, you can do this. Okay, so I will show you how ya lepas ni. Okay, next. Okay, SLR or concept paper. Okay, the traditional way of producing literature review, we call that concept paper, kan? So, which one has more potential? Of course, SLR. Why? Because I have explained to you, it has rigorous way of searching, systematic literature review. It can be replicated. So the methodology is very strong. Of course, SLR has higher potential to be accepted in the index journals. Okay, why? Okay, so methodology is very important if you want to publish in a high index journal. I noticed that when I in my sessions with postgraduate students, I noticed that why your article was not able to be published in high index journal. When I checked the article, I found that the methodology was very loose. Okay, so methodology is very important. When you plan for your research, please plan your methodology very carefully from the very beginning, because the acceptance of your paper into high index journals depending especially on your methodology. Okay, so this one has good methodology. So yeah, please understand this well. Okay, next. Okay, look at this. Yeah, I found some statistics for you so that you understand how important is methodology. So look at this, 5 million articles, SLR articles, yeah, until 2024. So this is 2022 kan? Maknanya there are already articles queued in Scopus to be published. Maknanya dah siap. Okay, siap. And queued to be published by until 2024 in Scopus. Okay, so we found 5 million SLR articles, and then when we search for concept paper ataupun scoping review ni is another methodology, but the methodology is not as strong as SLR, but it's not as weak as concept paper, so it's in the middle, kan? So we found scoping review, concept paper, and we found only 107,000 article in Scopus. Okay, so huge difference kan? 5 million dengan 100,000. So if you want your paper to be published in index journal, of course you have to use SLR. Okay, all right. Next. Now, why SLR? Why do we learn SLR? Number one, I've explained to you, your research is still at an early stage, chapter 1, chapter 2, you do not have data yet, so you can still publish using SLR. Memenuhi pencapaian penerbitan di peringkat awal. Early stage, you can still publish, don't worry. You don't have to wait until your research, until at the end stage of your research where you have collected data. Tak perlu. Early stage saja sudah boleh publish. Okay? Second, penyelidik, researcher, with or without grant. Okay, for example, Doctor, I am a student, I don't have grant. So how do I write I publish in high index journal? Tak ada masalah, no problem. You have your research idea. You are at the stage where you are still developing your thesis kan? You are writing your chapter 1, you're writing your chapter 2 as I mentioned tadi. You can still publish. You don't have to have grant. But you need money lah, of course, to publish. But there are so many free article yang journal without publication fee kan, you can search for that. It's just that you have to wait. The queue is quite long. Tapi being a student, you have like, for example, you're doing PhD, you have 3 years. So it's okay if you have to wait like 1 year. In the end, you still publish without before you graduated. Kan? So you still fulfill your graduating requirement. Okay, but you have to plan early. All right. So don't worry if you don't have grant, you can still publish. Okay, point number 3, mendapatkan info kajian lepas melalui table of findings dalam artikel. So this is the benefit of SLR. You'll be able to get previous research, literature about your research in dalam jumlah pukal. Okay, so for example, if you do research, you will be able to find, for example, 20,000 articles talking about your topic. Okay, so if you do literature search biasa, mungkin you search and you find beberapa saja yang you mampu tengok. For example, oh, I can download like 20 articles the most and you read 20 articles. Kan? But in your in this SLR, you will be able to find more. And you will be able to plot you put everything into your table of findings in your systematic review article. Okay, and then informasi mengenai research gap that as I mentioned earlier, you can use literature to find the gap. Sebab apa? Sebab previous research yang published, this research actually research actual situation. Okay, so they research actual population, kan? And they found something about the population. So you can use that to explain about your research gap, because that was based on what happened in this world. Okay, so this is a literature review. SLR is very relevant to highlight about your research gap. Okay, so this is some of the benefit of using SLR. Okay, next slide. Now, so what are the databases that you can use to search for literature? So I've listed few here. Okay, so for example, the famous Scopus by Elsevier. This database, of course, is multidisciplinary. Regardless you are in whatever what area, you can find the discussion in Scopus. But this you have to pay subscription fee. Okay, so depending on your university, for example, if your university subscribes Scopus, then you can do academic research using Scopus. Okay, and then we have Web of Science, yeah, by Clarivate. Previously, that was under Thomson Reuters. This is also multidisciplinary, and this also has a subscription fee that you have to pay. Kemudian, okay, so gimana ya mau melakukan research SLR kalau semuanya harus berbayar? No, ada banyak lagi di sini yang saya listkan. Dimension by Digital Science, this is multidisciplinary and this is free. Okay, and also we have ERIC education, especially focus on education science, yeah, and this is also free. IEEE Explore. This is Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. Of course, the area is engineering. Ini juga free. And then ada Science Direct by Elsevier. Ini juga multidisciplinary and they're free. DEOJ also free. And also JSTOR. Okay, ini pun multidisciplinary and they're free. Okay, so you can use this. Okay, these are the databases that we have yang published journal. Okay, so you can use any of this. You can use for example Scopus, kemudian DOAJ for example, and ERIC combine. Okay, doesn't matter, no problem. Okay, you can use any, or if you happen to know any other databases not listed here, you can use them. No problem. Okay. Right, so these are some, ya. You boleh cari the articles in these databases. All right, next slide. So, when is the right time to write? Okay, so when is the best time to write? So, if you are a lecturer or a researcher, because your work is related to writing and publishing, so of course you can do this anytime because you have acquired the expertise earlier. Because you have completed your master's, your PhD, for example. So you have acquired the practice, the expertise. So you can start anytime. If you have area of interest, you can do SLR. If you want to develop a research proposal, you buat SLR lah supaya when you develop your research proposal, you have a very strong gap, kan? So anytime boleh buat. For students, siswa, okay, after you finish writing your chapter 2, okay, especially because at that time we assume that you have understood the concept and technique of writing literature review. Tetapi now that you have joined this training, for example, and you are still in the midst of completing your chapter 1, sudah boleh menulis chapter 1 menggunakan systematic literature review. Ataupun you have finished your chapter 1 and now you are still writing your chapter 2, or you have finished writing your chapter 2, but remember, until the end of your thesis, you will still be rewriting your chapter 1 and chapter 2, kan? So after you have finished chapter 1 and chapter 2 first draft, now you can go back and improve your chapter 1, especially on research problem, kan? Okay, research problem, undur lagi, tulis mula, improve your chapter 1. So so we assume that once you have at least you completed the first draft of your chapter 2, then I think that is a very good time for you to start writing your SLR article. So while completing your journal article, you can at the same time improving your chapter 1 and chapter 2. So kill two birds using the same stone, kan? Boleh dapat sekali. Okay, next ya. Now, how do you start? Tadi when, kan? When, and now next question is how. Okay, so how do you start your writing? So, of course, SLR article, same like other journal article, you will have to be guided by your research question and research objective. Okay, without your research question and research objective, jadi tidak tahu mahu ke mana. Okay, so if you have a very clear research question and research objective, then you will only use the same direction throughout. Sampai ke sudah, directionnya itu tidak akan terkeluar ke mana-mana. The same direction throughout until the end. So it is very important that you have research objective, research question, so that you know your focus from the very beginning. Okay. Now, and then how do you start also? You also must focus to the element of your article. Whether, remember, your whole study is big tau. Betul tak? Your whole study, for example, you are doing master's thesis. Your whole master's thesis besar. In your chapter 1, you have gaps. In your chapter 2, you have different variables, IV, DV dan sebagainya. Okay? And then you have theory. Okay, you have theories. 1 theory, 2 theories. How many theories you use? Ada banyak, kan? So in your study, you have different areas of research. Okay? So you need to choose for your SLR, because in your SLR article, you cannot afford to write everything in one article. The nature of SLR article is that you have to focus. You just have to take one part, one small part of your study and put it in your, put it as your SLR article. Satu ataupun dua. So for example, maybe you want to focus on the domain or thematic review, the themes. So you choose 1 theme or 2 themes, for example, and you do thorough research on that specific theme. Okay, so based on previous research, you elaborate the theme. Boleh. Ataupun, you just want to focus on theory. So you want to focus, for example, you want to study mass media theory, the theories that we have in mass media. So some theories that you would like to focus. So then you do the theory review. Your SLR, the objective of your SLR article is related to theory. You want to confirm something about the theory. Pun boleh. Ataupun you want to do methodology review. You want to see how much this particular method has been used by previous researchers dalam konteks education ke, dalam konteks business ke, for example, or related to online research ke apa ke kan. So you must focus, okay? You must focus, and you have to decide this paper that you are writing currently, okay? Sekarang papernya fokus kepada apa? You have to decide. Then that will help you to start your writing. Okay, tidak boleh terlalu bidangnya terlalu besar, areanya, element focus, element tu terlalu, you want to cover this, at the same time you want to cover that, semuanya mau dimasukkan dalam satu paper, gimana lah, kan? Tidak fokus, okay? So don't do that. Okay, how to start your writing? Choose one objective. Okay, I mean choose few objectives to be answered by your research. Nanti saya akan tunjukkan contoh ya. Apakah contoh objektif yang boleh ditulis ya. Nanti saya akan tunjukkan artikel SLR. Nanti kalian akan lihat ini objektifnya, ini metodologinya. Jadi kalian bisa faham. So at this stage I will just explain apa ni, just explore sahaja dulu apa ni, some theories ya. Okay, next. So before, okay, so before you start writing, this is what you're doing now. You are trying to understand concepts and technique of writing literature review. No, I mean you have understood the literature review writing when you do your thesis, kan? So now you are studying the SLR methodology. Maknanya you have completed the first stage, iaitu you have understood literature review technique. So if you just register, what happened, for example, I'm here as a first semester student. I have not yet developed my chapter 1 and chapter 2. Okay, fine, tak apa. You can still listen. Tapi you do not write your article first yet, yeah? What you do is understand more about literature review. Write your first draft of chapter 1 and chapter 2. Okay, it's very important. Apa ni, dalam proses tersebut you will acquire the skill, and then you have listened to this. So this is a bonus. You have listened to this, so you can use this methodology to improve your chapter 1 and chapter 2 while you are writing it. Okay, so doesn't matter lah sebenarnya kalau you SEM 1 ke, you SEM 2 ke, is okay. You can still use this knowledge, yeah. Okay, and then today I'm going to explain to you technique, searching technique. Okay, so we have database. For example, you want to use Scopus. Kalau di Indonesia ada apa, Sinta ya? Yeah, okay, you can use Sinta, for example. So you have Sinta, so you want to use Sinta as your database, no problem. Kalau di Malaysia kita ada MySite, so I can use MySite juga untuk research kan. So no problem. So the most important thing is you know the searching technique. Okay, so we call this search string ataupun query string. So you know the search technique. Kalau biasa kan kita search biasa saja, for example, mass media theory. You just type and then keluar 5 juta articles on mass media theory. Wah, ya gimana ini? Mahu pilih yang mana satu? So, if you understand this, advanced search. So, you akan tahu formula. Okay, formula untuk menulis, mencari yang lebih spesifik. Then, lebih bagus. Okay, so you must know the research technique, and then so for this training I will focus, my focus is on, I use Scopus, okay? So why I use Scopus? Because Scopus database is very comprehensive, ada banyak topik, multidisciplinary, and then Scopus has this 4 basic function on literature searching, yaitu phrase searching, wildcard, truncation, and Boolean operator. If you want to search other database, they might not have all this function, all 4 function together. Tapi you can use like, maybe they have phrase searching and wildcard saja. You can still use you can explore lah whether they can read ataupun tak. Maybe if you use Sinta, for example, you try to use phrase searching dengan wildcard sahaja. Because truncation dengan Boolean mungkin database tu tak boleh baca lagi. But I'm not sure. I have not tried Sinta. You can try after this. Okay. So for your information, this training, for this training, I'm using Scopus. Yeah. Okay. Next. Setakat ini gimana? Boleh follow? Boleh follow? Okay, cuba angguk kepala. Boleh ya? Boleh? Okay. Adakah saya terlalu laju? Angguk atau enggak? Terlalu laju? You want me to slow down ke? Yeah. You want me to slow down? Terlalu laju ya? A little bit. Okay. Okay, I'll go slower. Okay. Because yang ini pun these notes, now we are moving into the difficult part, yeah. I mean, bukan difficult pun, confusing. Okay, so I will go through this slowly, and I will advise you to open, if you have Scopus. I would advise you to open your Scopus database. Can I demonstrate? Can I open the Scopus? Yeah, from this. Boleh tak? Let me sekejap sebentar ya. I open the database from here. Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, let me try. Just buka apa ni? Just buka apa tu? Search biasa. Okay. Yeah. Internet. Okay. Itu di share screen-nya, di share. Share screen-nya. Share screen. Okay. lib. Okay. Let me. Boleh saya type? Ya, saya aja yang type, senang. Screen ini udah di share kan? Sharekan screen-nya supaya responden bisa melihat. Oh, okay. Iya, gantian yang ini yang bisa. Iya, supaya responden bisa. Yeah. Okay? Udah. Okay. I just want to show you ya.
You just instruct then operate.
Okay. Never mind. Yang ni saya masukkan dulu sebentar. Ada passwordnya semua.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Okay. lib .upm. Sorry. Can I have this chair? Tak nampak, tak keluar tak dia punya? Can you see? Nampak ya? Okay. This I'm using UPM ya, because we have access to Scopus. Okay. Okay, now, and then I will go to Scopus. So you check your institution here. If you have Scopus, you can go to Scopus. Okay, so this is Scopus. Lambat sedikit. Okay, so this is Scopus ya. Alright, so ini adalah database Scopus. Okay, now di sini you akan buat search di sini ya, search within title, abstract, keywords. Ini adalah search biasa saja. Okay, so you do your searching here. So for example, I just use all field. So for example, maybe I want to search about branding. Brand communication. Okay, this is without using the searching strategy. This is just basic search that everybody does, yeah. Okay, cuba tengok ini. So when you search for brand communication, you nampak tak? 350 artikel, 354 artikel. Okay, 354,152 artikel. Terlalu banyak. Ya, too many articles. Nampak ni? So, mau cari yang mana ini? Oh, terlalu banyak sekali artikelnya.
Couldn't share, right? Yeah, just
Boleh?
make it bigger.
Boleh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, look at this ya. Ini terlalu banyak artikelnya. 354,152 documents article. Because you tulis brand communication. Now, what I'm going to explain, yes. So what I'm going to explain to you today is on how you can reduce these 354,000 articles into something more specific. So what do? You pergi ke edit. Okay, so di sini akan ada, you will be able to do more advanced, di mana you ambil ini, advanced document search. Klik di sini, advanced. So ini tergantung ya, depending on what method database you are using, you can just explore je, don't worry. Okay, so ini adalah advanced search. Okay, so advanced search, okay, now I'm going to explain to you today. This is the place where you use the 4 advanced searching tadi. Wildcard, truncation, Boolean Operator and so on. Okay, so saya ulang ya. Ulang sekali lagi, ini Scopus. Selalunya nanti kalau if you go to any database, you will do search using basic sahaja. This is search document, you just use brand communication, you search, and then you will find lots of articles, 354,000 articles. So what focus you wanna, how do you focus your research? This is where you go to the advanced search, yeah. You pergi edit, and then advanced document search. So, and this is where you will be typing all the advanced punya formula, which I'm going to show after this. Okay. Okay? Okay, boleh ditukarkan kepada slide balik.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to show to you tadi the place where you do the searching. Okay? Tapi tergantung ya. Ya, itu Scopus. Scopus database. But if you want to search in Senta, or if you want to search in DOAJ ataupun di mana-mana, you can use the same. Basically, you can use the same strategy. Kerana mereka gunakan program yang almost standard. Okay? Cuma ada yang advanced. Some of the databases can accept advanced searching formula. Some they just can read basic searching formula. Okay, tapi tak apa, dapat tahu basic searching pun tak apa dah. So you can practice. If you do not have access to Scopus, you can start opening. If you have computer, of course lah, you ada computer because yeah, because this is online kan. Sorry. You can start opening the search, the database. You nak buka apa? Bukalah, try Sinta ke ataupun any database yang you have access to, you can start. You can open the database at the same time and sambil listen to my ni ya. Okay, so first we will do identification. So these are the 4 steps tau. In the systematic review and data analysis. So these are the 4 steps. Yang pertama, first, you will have to identify what articles you wanna analyze. So you have 300,000 something articles. So you definitely need to reduce. And how do you reduce? You just want to select the articles yang relevant to your research only. Okay? So out of the 300,000 articles, you want to reduce and reduce and reduce until you can get those articles yang betul-betul relevant to your study sahaja. Kena brand communication can talk about many things. There are too many specialization related to brand communication. So too many different areas of studies in brand communication. So you do not want to read something not relevant to your study, wasting your time kan? So you do not want to read that. You just want to read something relevant to your study only. So the first part, identification ni is very important. Okay, first part sangat penting. Where you will reduce your search into articles yang relevant to your study only. Okay, we call this process identification. How do you do this? Reduce, how do you reduce? Kurangkan lagi dan lagi dan lagi. Gunakan 4 metodologi ini. Phrase searching, dan 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so yang ini faham ya? Kemudian, search yang kedua, proses yang kedua, after you have finished, you have reduced until you have found articles relevant to your study, then you do the screening. Okay, identify, so these are the articles, but these articles pun might not be, not all are relevant to your study because identification ni ialah first stage. After you do the identification, you will go to the second stage, iaitu you go one by one because the number is reduced now from 5,000, 300,000, now dah jadi 50 articles for example. So these 50 articles betul-betul related to your study. So you do the second stage, screening. What is screening? Check lagi. You have identified criteria kan? So, oh, this is, for example, you kata the criteria is that the research have, semua tu have to be conducted in Indonesia. And then you found one research conducted in Turkey. Wow, okay, dan sebagainya, okay? So you screen, and then number 3, you look at the eligibility. Whether eligible ke tak eligible. Boleh diterima atau tak boleh diterima untuk you punya research. So, screening, eligibility, last sekali yang tinggal itu, the final, you analyze. Okay, so these are the 4 steps. From searching until analyzing. Belum masuk lagi how to analyze ya. Hari ini just want to show you how do you do the searching saja. Okay, now, let's go to first stage, which is on identification. Okay, next slide. Okay, identification ini adalah proses yang paling penting. Okay, So mengidentifikasi perkataan kata-kata. Okay, so how do you do this? You do this identification by identifying words, perkataan, kata-kata, okay, with the same meaning. You find words yang have same meaning with your keywords. For example, my keyword is halal, for example. Okay, halal. So I can, what are the same words as halal? For example, halal food, for example. So another word is Sharia compliance. Kan? Islamic regulation, for example. So these are words that have the same meaning with your keywords. So my keywords is halal food or Sharia compliance food or food according to Islamic regulation, halal Sharia compliance. These has the same meaning with halal food. So halal, Sharia compliance, religion. Okay, so you have to search. So where do you search? You can use thesaurus, you can use encyclopedia, dictionary, or internet. Pun ada banyak kan synonym words you can find. I normally use internet. There are trusted site where you can find synonym words, for example. Okay, so you find same words, and then you build your search string based on these four. Okay, this may look, you might not, I'm sure you will not be able to understand fully this, kan? Tapi I will show you after this. So you find the words and you build the search string. So for example, after you have identified the words, halal food, so I have halal food. Food pun boleh apa yang synonym with food. For example, food seller, restaurant, food manufacturer. Mana yang the context that included. So for example, in your research, you have identified that you want to study halal food. So halal food by what? Halal food by restaurants? Yes, I want to include by restaurant. Do you study halal food by manufacturer? Yes, halal manufacturer. So do you study food by halal blah 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 blah? Anything that you want to include as your respondents of your study, as the context of your study, include that in your search. Supaya when you search, they will give you findings related to halal food, halal manufacturer, food manufacturer, halal food provider, halal food apa lagi? Okay, and then halal also include halal, Sharia compliance, religious requirement, for example. So these are some words yang sama. Okay, organization. For example, you nak include koperasi kan, cooperative, manufacturer. Organization tu luas, very general, so you want to include manufacturer, cooperative, SME, for example, you know. So you can define dalam ini. Bisa faham ya? Okay, so first you have all those keywords, and then you will build the search string. So bagaimana untuk melakukan search string ini I will show you after this. So you have the keywords. So for example, jot down. You can start practicing. So jot down the keywords for your research. For example, in my case, sembelihan halal. Okay, sembelihan halal. Pengurusan sembelihan, itu juga keyword saya. Okay, sembelihan halal, pengurusan sembelihan. Okay, so what are the keywords? So daripada sembelihan halal itu, nanti you akan pergi ke internet, cari sinonim, find the synonym for sembelihan. Slaughter, number 1. Apa lagi? You will find few words related to sembelihan. Okay? So slaughter and many other words. I think I have done this di sini ya. Nanti I akan share with you the keywords untuk itu ya. Sebentar. Okay. So you can start listing. You boleh start listing. Boleh list sekarang your keywords on a piece of paper. Lebih baik you tulis sambil you dengar, because when you do this, you akan lebih faham. Kalau you dengar saja saya cakap, you tak faham. Okay. Now you list your keywords and go to synonym. Cari perkataan dan list. Okay, sebentar ya. Saya share yang saya punya. Okay. For you to be able to understand this, I would advise you to do this. To list, to buat sambil while listening you do. Okay, so untuk sembelihan halal ya, saya gunakan perkataan ya. Halal, okay. Kemudian slaughter, slaughter is sembelih. Butchery, sembelih. Abattoir, sembelihan juga. Kemudian halal means compliance. Compliance kan? Perkataan compliance, comply itu maksudnya mengikut. Halal. So compliance. Kemudian adherence. When you adhere to something, you menurut, mengikut sesuatu. So compliance. Perkataan yang sama lagi adherence. Apa lagi perkataan yang sama? Observe. When you observe something, you follow. Maknanya you follow. So observe. Perform. Melakukannya. Kemudian conform, when you conform something you mengikut juga. And then decision, kemudian law. Halal itu sama dengan law. Halal juga berkait dengan syariah. Halal juga terkait dengan jurisdiction. Okay, so these are the keywords that I use. Sebab kerana apa? Because I do not want to miss articles related to my area of study. Because I understand some people, they might study the same thing, tapi dia guna different words. For example, when you conform to Islamic teaching, sometimes you write it as you adhere. A-D-H-E-R-E. You adhere to Islamic teaching, or you observe Islamic teaching, ataupun you perform Islamic teaching, perform according to Islamic teaching. So perkataan comply itu boleh disamaartikan dengan adhere nombor 1, observe nombor 2, perform nombor 3, conform nombor 4. Faham tak? Okay, so in your formula string nanti, you have to include those 4 words too. Conform, comply, adhere, observe, perform, conform. 5. So dia dah jadi 5. Those 5 words must be included in your search string. Nanti saya tunjukkan ya. I just want to explain first. Perkataan halal. Okay, halal, slaughter, perkataan yang sama dengan slaughter ada 1 slaughter, nombor 2 butcher, nombor 3 abattoir. 3 saya masukkan, so that research yang gunakan, yang mengkaji about halal slaughtering, jika dia gunakan perkataan halal butchery, findings itu juga will be included in my search. Kan? Sebab perkataan ini kan ada banyak. Okay? Satu perkara yang sama bisa di-explain by different words. So we do not want to miss those research yang gunakan perkataan yang beda. So we use this. So halal, some people they don't use the word halal, but they use the word Islamic law. So we use law. We ambil law. Syariah. Halal, law, syariah, halal Islamic jurisdiction. 4. So in the end, in our research string tu, dia akan include all the relevant articles. Okay, so sudah cari di komputer masing-masing, udah listkan keywords. Ini cara yang lebih cepat untuk faham ya. Listkan keywords. For my keywords, halal, because I want to understand halal, slaughtering, compliance, 3. Halal, slaughtering, compliance. So I find words synonym for halal, synonym for slaughtering, synonym for compliance. Coba. You can use synonym biasa. Untuk words ni basic, later you can use Google Scholar, tapi untuk synonym you have to go to synonym. Dalam internet kan ada synonym, ya. You pergi ke dictionary, kamus, you will find synonym, and they will give you list of words, similar words to your area of study. You choose few yang most relevant. Okay, boleh ya? Okay, next slide. Next slide. Okay, boleh diturunkan box tu ke bawah sikit. Okay, thank you. Right. Okay, ini adalah metodologi yang pertama. Identification ataupun phrase searching ya. Dalam proses identification tadi kan ada 4. Okey, yang pertama, bagaimanakah menggunakan phrase searching? What is the meaning of phrase? Phrase means phrase is made of more than 2 words. Betul? More than 1 word. For example, branding communication. So itu phrase, frasa. Okay? So when you search branding communication, they will search for branding, semua artikel yang terkait dengan branding, and then communication, semua artikel yang terkait dengan communication, and branding communication. So branding, communication, branding communication. Jadi makanya 300,000 lebih perkataan. Kalau branding aja pun termasuk. Contohnya saya bagi di sini perkataan semantic web dalam language kan. So semantic web, dia akan cari semantic, satu lagi dia akan cari web. Web ni sometimes they will include all the articles yang related to technology, which is not relevant to semantic word. Okay, so this is what happen if you don't use the word, if you don't use the inverted comma, simbol ni, inverted comma di antara perkataan. If you use this word inverted comma yang dibirukan itu, they will find only semantic word. Bukan semantic web. Bukan semantic, bukan web. Branding communication as one. Not branding, not communication. So that will help you to find more relevant articles. So sangat penting dalam phrase searching, you guna perkataan, you guna simbol inverted comma untuk frasa, phrase. When you want to search for a phrase that is made up of 2 or more words, then use this symbol. Okay, next slide. Ini contohnya. Okay, you look at this ya. I try to search semantic word, web. Ini boleh digerakkan mouse tak? Okey, cuba halakan ke semantic word perkataan yang di anak panah merah itu. Ya, di bawah semantic and web. Okey, di gambar cuba pergikan ke di situ. Okey. Without, ini adalah search yang without inverted comma, without phrase searching ya. So, yang hasilnya yang keluar 264,000 articles. Ini bisa. Okay, thank you. Okay, please look at this. Ini ya, kalau saya search tanpa phrase searching, dia jadi 264,230. Ini sebanyak ini result document. Kerana dia search semantik sahaja, dia search web and also semantic web. Okay, ini adalah setelah saya masukkan inverted comma. Saya search dia sebagai semantic web dan dia telah reduce menjadi 119,656 document research, document result. So dengan fungsi, sudah tidak boleh bergerak, okay. Dengan fungsi pencarian ini, bukan salah satu perkataan, not only, not one by one, but the phrase together as one term. So lebih fokus. Okay. So ini adalah penggunaan phrase searching. Ada frasa, bagaimana mencari perkataan yang ada frasa, jawapannya ialah mesti dibubur inverted comma. Okay. Kemudian fungsi yang kedua kita panggil sebagai wildcard. Sesi ini sampai jam berapa? Yang pertama ni? 11. So 9 to 11 ya? Okay. Now, 10.30. Boleh ya? Okay. 10:30 until 11. Okay. Okay. So this session is until 11 o'clock ya? Okay. Okay. So we have 30 minutes lagi ya? Okay. About 30 minutes, 35 minutes. So fungsi yang seterusnya adalah wildcard. Okay. Di mana sometimes kita dapati fungsi ini tujuan dia adalah untuk mengenal pasti articles yang menggunakan different spelling. For example, we have American English, we have British English, kan? Okay, so sometimes you can see differences lah. Kalau, for example, American English they will use Z most of the time or all the time. Kalau British dia guna S kan, organization kan. So and then also differences in terms of singular and plural. For example, hypothesis I is singular, hypothesis E is apa ni kan. So you want to singular or plural. So you want to include all singular or plural. Sometimes study tu tajuk dia plural. Sometimes dia menggunakan, they use the word singular. But you want to study those. Doesn't matter singular or plural, you can use wildcard. Okay? American, British, organization. So how do you do wildcard? Okay? So you can use question mark, you can use hash ataupun pound, ataupun you can use asterisk. Okay, now this is one example ya. You tengok perkataan analyze. So you spell A-N-A-L-Y, lepas tu you letak asterisk E. So S ke Z ke doesn't matter. You can search, you can include that in your article. Okay, senang saja. Okay, women. Okay, singular woman, plural women. So E ke A ke, so for singular plural you can use the word apa ni, question mark, the symbol question mark dalam ni. Okay, now you can do in your apa ni, in your database yang you buka sekarang ni, you can search ya, boleh dilakukan, you can coba, you can try to search for analyze. Okay, you will find analyze using Z. Cuba tengok berapa artikel yang you dapat, compare with try to type the word ANALY asterisk E, you will find more. Sebab apa? Kerana pencarian itu lebih meluas, not only to analyze with Z, it will also include analyze with S. Okay, coba lakukan, nanti bisa lebih faham. Boleh buka any search, any database untuk research ya. Okay, so ini faham ya? Boleh? Right. Next.
Can I just use Google Scholar?
Boleh. Yeah. Okay, now you use truncation. Okay, use truncation untuk fungsi ketiga, iaitu truncation. So truncation, why you use truncation? Because you want to find words in many words together at one time. Okay. So for example, you use asterisk, you use question mark, or you use $sign at the end of the words. For example, gene, okay? You know that there are many research that also talk about genes, they add the word S. This is the basic word gene kan? Sometimes they do research on genetic. Nampak tak? So, you can include all. You just guna perkataan $sign. Gene as the basic word. And the search will include everything else yang guna this basic word. Ataupun adapt. Okay? Asterisk. Adaptation, adapts, adapted, adapting. Anything yang menggunakan use the basic word adapt will be included in your search. Okay. So jika hanya search adaptation without the symbol this, if you search only adaptation, so your search will only focus on article that include the word adaptation only. It will not include adapts, it will not include adapted, it will not include adapting. When all these are actually relevant for your research. So you miss research findings that use the word adapts, adapted, and adapting. Kan rugi? What a waste. Okay, what a waste. So we want to include everything related to adapt. Okay, so makanya gunakan truncation. Yeah, boleh ya? Right. Okay, ini latihan ya. Coba please use your research database, type adaptation. How many articles? Berapa jumlah artikel yang you dapat? Okay, now. Berapa? 5 million. Itu adaptation ya. Cuba cari adapt kemudian tanda asterisk. Ya, adapt asterisk. Bandingkan jumlah artikel kedua-duanya. You akan dapati yang with asterisk adalah lebih banyak daripada adaptation. Okay? Alright? Yeah, okay. Okay, no, dalam Google Scholar sometimes dia dah ada function tu dah embed automatic ya. Ya. Tapi kalau dalam database mereka adalah sangat fokus. Ya, kalau you cari contohnya you try to search using apa ni?
Then adaptation find on 50,000.
50,000 for adaptation. Kalau adapt
with that one 150.
Okay. So 50,000 and 156 in Emerald. Yeah, Emerald database. So without adaptation baru 50,000. Kalau adapt asterisk dah 100 and something. So they include more. Kan? Jadi rugi kalau you limit your searching. Okay. Of course you need to limit, tapi what you want to, your limitation to must be based on, you must reject anything that not relevant. Kalau perkataan adaptation, adapting, those are very relevant words for your research. Tapi when you want to exclude, you exclude yang not relevant. Itu tak apa. Tapi yang relevant, perkataan yang relevant, you must make sure that those words included. Okay. Okay, pencarian memasukkan artikel yang okay. So tips on how to do this, use the basic word untuk kata kerja. For example, adaptation, adapt. Okay, running, run. Clarification, clarify. Macam tu. Okay, even the word clarification, FY kan? Yeah, so C-L-E-R-I-F, kemudian dibuat asterisk. Y tu jangan ditulis. Kena ada yang FI, clarification. Ada yang clarify. Kan? So dia akan include semua. So the basic word for clarification adalah clarif, C-L-A-R-I-F. Kemudian asterisk, jangan Y-nya. Okay, alright. Okay, seterusnya perkataan, fungsi seterusnya dalam researching ini adalah Boolean Operator. Now, what is Boolean Operator? So this function enable you to find more than one keyword. Tadi, same word with different spelling. Okay, or same word. Okay, same word with different plural or singular. Itu yang within the same word. Now, Boolean operator ni adalah more than one keyword. For example, halal, syariah, jurisdiction. So kan ada 3 perkataan. So itu kan lebih more than one keyword. You have keyword 1 halal, you have keyword 1 jurisdiction, you have keyword 2 jurisdiction, and keyword 3 compliance. So more than one keyword. So this function will enable you to search. So you have halal, 1 keyword, compliance, keyword number 2, slaughter, keyword number 3. Kan more than one keyword. So how do you do that research? You use Boolean operator. Now, so look at this. Number 1, you have the word and dan juga the word or to find your relevant articles, potential articles to be included. This is to make it big. So you want to include halal, you want to also include not only paper with the word halal, you want to include perkataan syariah, you want to include perkataan Islamic, apa lagi tadi? Jurisdiction. So the word jurisdiction, you include everything. So jadi luas. Okay? Or you want to make it smaller because you only study, contohnya halal food. Okay? Halal food, restaurant sahaja. Halal restaurant, and not, sebab halal food tu dia akan include restaurant, manufacturer dan regulator kan. So you tulis and not, maknanya tidak mahu include and not manufacturer, because your study is only restaurant. So and not manufacturer, and not legislator, and not siapa lagi. Okay, so you make it smaller. So if you want to make it the search, you want to make it bigger, wider search, you use and or. But if you want to make it smaller, you use the word and not. Okay. For example, dekat sini you tengok the word, I use inverted comma kan, corporate identity, supaya dia tak break corporate lain, identity lain. So it's corporate identity as one word, and management. So lebih fokus, only 6,226 article. corporate identity and management. Without N ini lain ya, N ini dengan N ini, for example, N ini yang di dalam formula, yang ini you type dan dia tidak masuk sebagai formula. Okay, corporate identity, you type and management, you will find 92,000 articles. Kenapa 92,000? Dia akan search corporate, dia akan search identity, dia akan search management, dia akan search corporate identity, dan and so on. So dia jadi banyak. Okay, so not helping. Okay, not helping. So we want very precise apa ni, describe keywords kan. So you use this technique, yeah. Okay, look at this. Phrase searching, Boolean operator, and field code. Okay. Di sini phrase searching. Okay, you must make sure ya, sebelum you type mesti ada apa ni, buka perenggan di sini dipanggil apa? Buka kurungan. Buka kurung ya. Okay. So you have this buka kurung and tutup kurung at the end. In the middle, you kena ada buka kurung untuk dan tutup kurung untuk setiap keywords. Infrastructure, buka kurung, tutup kurung. Okay, look at this ya. Okay, study. Cuba tengok ni. Ada, ini apa? Phrase searching. Ya. Kemudian infrastructure. Tengok, ada asterisk. Itu apa? Boolean operator. Kemudian ada and di tengahnya. Okay? Alright. So, ini ya. Okay? So, ada Boolean operator tadi kita nampak di sini. Ini. Okay? Kemudian kita nampak ada truncation juga. Di mana truncation? Di sini. Okay? Alright. So, setelah dilakukan ini, cuma 2,121. And if you notice ini, yang saya masukkan ini, saya masukkan title, abstract dengan keywords. Bermaksud, perkataan ini tolong cari di title, abstract dan keyword sahaja. So, dia tak akan masuk dalam isi kandungan. Okay? So, findingnya lebih memfokus. Alright. Cuba you lihat artikel dia. Tadi based on this searching, ada semantic web dengan infrastructure kan. So nampak? Semantic web together. Okay. Infrastructure ini. Okay. At the same time, dia juga bantu cari semantic web. Dia guna perkataan web-based semantic. Sebab ada perkataan semantic web. Dia boleh ni. Asalkan dalam term itu ada satu semantic web. So kalau terbalik pun dia boleh carikan, iaitu web-based semantic. So infrastructure. Semantic web, infrastructure. So ini artikelnya. Nampak ya? So di title and also di abstract and also di keywords of the articles. Okay. Kalau di sini kan kita tak nampak, ini tidak ada perkataan semantic web. Infrastructure juga enggak ada. Kenapa ini included? Kerana semantic web and infrastructure included dalam dia punya abstract ataupun keywords. Okay, not in the title tapi ada di salah satu ataupun kedua-dua both keywords and also abstract. So they included this as well. Okay. Okay ya? Next. Okay. Ini contoh ya, tadi and or and not kan, ini yang lebih advance ya. Nanti tadi yang saya tunjukkan basic. So how do you do advanced search? Okay, ini contoh. If you want to do and, lebih dari satu keyword dalam pencarian, so you kena tambah perkataan and. Jadi halal, manufacturer, and organizational performance. Di sini saya tunjukkan N, tapi dalam search string nanti you kena masukkan inverted comma lah. Okay. Performance, you organizational, you boleh masuk organization. Kemudian hashtag apa ni hashtag pula dah. Apa ni asterisk. Performance, perkataan apa? Perform sahaja. Okay? Perform. Unless kalau if you only want to use the word performance, you do not want to include performing, you do not want to include the word performed, you do not want to include performs because they have different meaning, then you awal-awal tulis performance. And this one, halal manufacture, you do not want to include manufacture, manufacturers, tak nak, manufacturing, tak nak, manufactured pun you do not want to include, so you straight away type manufacturer. Okay, but you have manufacturer, manufacturers, so you can include the word, boleh tambah asterisk dekat ujung juga. Okay, okay, this is the word and, maknanya you nak luaskan pencarian. So but you can also use the word or. This is also to luaskan, to make the search wider. Halal industry or halal organization or halal company or halal manufacturer. So you pergi sinonim tadi, industry. So mereka bagi sinonim for the word industry, industry, organization, company, manufacturer, 4 synonym words. So you can use the word or. Okay, jika dia sama. And jika dia two different, you want to search for 2 different variables or 2 different words. Halal manufacturer, organizational performance. Okay, 2. Okay. And not, you nak keluarkan, you want to take out anything similar but not in the same context with your study. For example, you want to study climate change, and when you check for synonym, you find the word rising temperature. But no, I do not want to study rising temperature. So you will not, and you found many studies on climate change, they also include rising temperature. So you do not want to waste your time reading those rising temperature article. So you search climate change and not rising temperature. Sometimes after you have look at the long list, or you find so many keywords yang relevant, but you do not want to read those. So you pun tambahlah, improve, edit your search and write the word and not. Okay, so and not tu akan exclude. Alright. And okay, so look at this. Halal. This is my research on halal industries organizational performance factors. Okay, so my research focusing on halal industry, and I focus on their performance factors in organization. So, apa perkataan yang saya tulis? Pertama, first buka kurungan, and then kurungan for first term, halal industry. Mesti ada phrase searching kan? Inverted comma, phrase searching. And I know that halal industry ada industries at the same time. So I use this asterisk. Okay. Lengkap untuk satu ini tutup. Okay, so yang pembuka kurungan yang kedua ini adalah just for this. Tutup. Kemudian or sebab selain halal industry juga relevan halal organization or organizations, or atau halal company, or halal manufacturer. Okay, so ini 1, 2, 3, 4 kategori yang pertama. Kemudian variable kedua and organizational performance or organizational achievement. Performance juga sama dengan achievement. Okay, so di sini 2 variable yang berbeza, dua perkataan yang berbeza, tetapi di dalam ini ada 4 yang sama dengan setiap perkataan. setiap kata. Okay? So this is how you research. Untuk elak bias and to improve the quality, you must form your search string ini together with your friend lah. We suggest you to do this search string together with your other researcher. Why? Because sometimes our thinking is limited. When you have another researcher, they will help you to add what you have missed in your search string. So, gini. Faham ya? Alright. Okay. Another field code dalam advanced search adalah use the word all for you to find keywords, okay, in everything. Keywords, when you search, when you use the word all, so the database will find that keywords in everywhere, in the content of the article, in the abstract, in the title, in the keywords, in everything. Okay, so you use the word all, and then you open and close bracket to differentiate between keywords, yeah, like this. Okay, in between, you must have one big bracket, awal dan akhir. In between, you must have small keywords. And this to differentiate whether or for the same word, synonym, and for the different variable. Okay, so if you use the word all, kalau yang tadi yang saya cari tadi, ini title abstract key kan? So ini untuk dalam title abstract key sahaja. Tapi kalau saya gunakan all, dia akan cari semua. Tapi risikonya adalah you will include everything else yang not relevant. So this is how you type, ya. All, one big, one close, open and close, and then in between all systematic review or meta synthesis or meta analysis. You nak cari semua artikel yang gunakan methodology. This is methodology punya research. You want to find out, you want to write an article about this methodology. So systematic review sometimes yang conceptual lah. Sometimes people use meta synthesis. Sometimes people use meta analysis. These are advanced literature review. So you want to write an article about advanced conceptual paper kan, conceptual analysis. So you want to include everything. So you buat macam ni. All methodology 1 or methodology 2 or methodology 3. Nampak? So they will include everything in that. Okay, all. Title abstract key tadi hanya di tajuk, abstract and keywords. So this is lebih precise, ya. So title abstract key and then the string. Okay, nanti saya tunjukkan sebentar di itu, ya. Okay. Boleh follow, boleh buka balik yang tadi. Sebentar ya, saya tunjukkan. Ya, yang tadi yang saya buka tadi. Sudah ditutup ya? Belum ah. Tolong buka yang balik semalam. Iya, itu. Oh, bukan. Belum. Oh, belum lagi ya. Mungkin dia ambil masa ya untuk keluar. Yang Scopus di Okey, ini. Okey, sebentar ya. Saya mau tunjukkan sesuatu. Bagaimana dia akan keluar when you type. Okey, so advance. Okey, ini advance kan? Okey. So saya nak guna title. Okay, nampak tak dia keluar? Dia sudah ada. Title abstract key. Kemudian dia sudah ada dia punya kurungannya kan? And then you boleh start buka. Mana kurungan? Kurungan di mana? Oh ini. Okay, kurungan. Satu lagi kurungan. Okay. Halal. Sorry. Mesti ada inverted comma. Ini kena practice. Beberapa kali nanti laju. Once you stop doing it, then you will take time. Even though you are expert in this before, kalau you lama, in my case, I used to pay the enumerator to do for me kan. Lama-lama saya dah hilang skill. Macam tu. Okay, title abstract key, kemudian halal industry. Okay, industry. Okay. Kemudian tutup inverted comma. And then tutup perenggan. Okay. Kemudian O kan, kena halal manufacturer contohnya. So you type O, dia akan keluar. Or, gitu. Okay, buka lagi. Inverted comma. Halal. Menu. Okay, halal industri ni, ada industri, ada industries kan. So saya tambah asterisk di situ. Okay. Halal menu facture. Saya nak cari manufacturer sahaja. So dan juga manufacturers. So saya hanya tambah. Saya tak mau manufacturing, manufactured saya tak mau in this case. So I just do this and tutup. Okay. And okay, you buat A and buka kurungan halal. Oh bukan. Mungkin saya nak buat organizational. Organizations boleh, organizational boleh. Performance. Kerana saya tak mau perkataan lain. Perform tak mau ya. So saya tutup. Okay. Kemudian saya tak mau include. Mungkin ada or, organization, achievement dan sebagainya. And then and not. Saya nak limit pula. And not. Apa lagi? So tulis sampai habislah. So nanti kita search. Okay. Bisa ya? Boleh? Okey, ditukar. Okey, ini mungkin agak keliru pada mulanya, tapi jika dilakukan practice will make will increase your skill. Don't worry. Sedikit lama-lama nanti ini sudah laju saja untuk search. Mula-mula mungkin ini lupa masuk. Doesn't matter that. Okay. Keep on practicing. Practice makes perfect. You will be able to increase your skill later on. Okay. Boleh buka di slide tadi. So far ada soalan. Mungkin boleh dimasukkan di dalam chat slowly, nanti kita akan baca nanti. Okay, right. So ini tadi advanced search kan, title abstract key tadi saya sudah tunjukkan. Advanced search. Okay, ini next lah, screening. Kemudian nanti di tepi tadi kan nampak ada ni kan, so you can refine your result. So screening ini adalah fasa yang kedua. Tadi identifikasi kan? Stage 1, remember identification. Ini, okay. Ini tadi done, kita dah belajar semua. Now kita masuk dekat sini. Screening, yeah. So screening, this is where you refine your result. So this is where, because when you do research kan, dalam methodology you mesti dah ada inclusion, exclusion criteria. Inclusion criteria means those research that you want to include in your study. Exclusion maksudnya those research that you want to exclude. You do not want to add those in your study. So you have to you have to decide this from the very beginning. What are the criteria from the process study? Which one you want to add? Which one you want to exclude? For example, you do not want to include large manufacturer. You just want to include small and medium enterprises. So when you read, when you do search, you will take out those yang daripada large manufacturer. Ataupun you just want to include local organization, but you will find MNC. Okay, so you want to exclude all the MNC. Don't exclude criteria. So this is where you refine your result. Okay, kalau you nampak, if you go down, nanti di bawah ini, so ada perkataan limit to or exclude. So nanti, for example, you do not want to include open access dan sebagainya. So for example, in these articles yang ditunjuk semua-semua ni, ada 216 from open access, ada 127 from this, from ni semua kategori open access journal. So you mungkin nak follow dekat sini. Nanti if you go down further, ada yang international, how many from Malaysia, how many all the countries, you can exclude. Lepas tu ada banyak lagi nanti dalam kriteria di tepi ni. Nanti if you go down, you will explore, so you will include or exclude. Okay? Di sini prosesnya. Because ini within result. So for example, you do not want to include SME. So you check SME. So dia akan keluarkan semua SME ni, you exclude them. Macam tu. Okay. Now, tadi ini screening kan? Inclusion. Kemudian, okay, so for example, these are the criteria ya. Time frame. So I just want to include research done within 2022 or until from 2000 to 2022 only. Anything lower than 2, you can exclude. Kemudian, okay, bahasa. You want to include only bahasa Indonesia, you do not want to include English pun boleh. Jenis document, you want to include journal, book, proceeding, and I do not want to, because when you do the searching, they will include everything that been included in the search. Okay, yang mereka ada, service that they offer. So maybe you just want to include journal saja. I do not want to include buku. So exclude buku, exclude proceeding, exclude book chapter. And negara kajian. I just want to include Indonesia or Asia. So I want to include Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Philippines, for example, because they release all the countries yang relevant with the articles. So you will exclude Bahrain, for example, and then you find one from Austria. Okay, exclude Austria. What else? Japan. I do not want to include Japan. Exclude Japan. You know, so you can do that. All right. So how to include or exclude is up to your research. No standard criteria. You know why you want to include, why you want to exclude. Kan? So depending on your area of study, you decide the criteria. Okay. Now, when you do article review, only review article with empirical data. Do not review article. Do not review the review article. SLR, do not do concept paper, SLR or meta-analysis for your SLR article. You only do SLR with empirical data. Okay? Okay, with empirical data. Okay. So, if you found after you do the screening nanti, your article will be reduced kan? Jika jumlah artikel terlalu sedikit, so maybe if you put 2010 until 2022, a very small article on this research, because your area of study is very rare. Not many do not many research do research on that area. So you might want to extend. For example, okay, from 2010 you try first 2010 to 2022. Okay, not many. So extend. For example, 2000 to 2022. Okay, more articles. So maybe you would want to extend your scope of time. Kemudian, for example, mungkin you nak buat di Indonesia sahaja, and then you found that, oh, not many studies conducted in Indonesia. I can only find 10 studies. 10 studies tak cukup. So maybe I want to do Asia pula. You besarkan lagi konsepnya. Okay, so depending on you, screening ni, you decide. After you found how many articles that you can find, remember different study area has different amount of articles. Topik yang common topics you will find more, but topics yang rare topics, unique topics, you will find less articles. So you might want to make it wider in your searching. Okay, make the criteria wider criteria in your searching. So look at this. Ini identification. You use electronic database in Emerald, Science Direct, Scopus, and Web of Science. Okay. So this is the search string that you use. Ini. And then you identify, based on this search string, you identify in this database 130 articles saja. Okay, so this is identification. And then you do screening. You search in this 131, you find two duplication, two same research listed. So you remove. So 132 minus 131 minus 2. Okay, now dia dah jadi 129. And then you buat lagi. You screen further. You only find journal article. You only want article in English, 2015 and later, and only focusing on Asia countries. So these are the inclusion criteria. And then tolak lagi. Oops, you found 78 pula. From 129, inclusion criteria narrowed, so you got 78 now. So itu ialah eligibility. Maknanya after you have screened, only 78 articles eligible. Okay, lihat di sini ya. Record excluded N sama dengan 51. Sebab apa? Yang included 129. Exclude, you dah exclude non-article journal document, bukan journal. You dah exclude non-English language article. You dah prioritize 2015 articles. So when you include, dia jadi 129. When you exclude, dia further reduce, became 51. Okay, kemudian yang eligible tu tadi, full selepas ini, full text access tadi dia jadi you would want to find only yang dapat full text saja. Yang bagi abstract saja you do not want to include. Only articles you can download full text. Yeah, so dari 129 tadi dia jadi 78. Yeah. Kemudian you tengok yang daripada full text tadi excluded kan? Ini excluded criteria. Articles, ada articles yang contohnya computer science you tak nak. Ada articles yang not based on empirical data you buang. Some articles not focus on organizational performance on in halal industry you buang juga. So in the end, studies included in qualitative synthesis adalah yang included after all this semua you buang, because you tengok ni, articles you exclude ada 58, so article yang eligible ada 78. So in the end, 78 minus 58, only 20 articles relevant to be analysed. Okay, adakah 20 articles ni cukup? Yes, literature review boleh guna. Okay, because you are going to analyze. So in this eligibility ni tadi, ini eligible ni, you do thorough checking manually. After you do the screening, you download all the articles, you do thorough screening, and then you make sure that those articles really represent your keywords, really represent your area of study and other criteria. So if you found article but not social science, halal juga, halal food, halal industry, tapi dia tengok science, dia nak tengok genetic, DNA, for example, they want to see pork genetic in food, so that is not social science, so you exclude. Okay, so eligibility ni adalah manual. So you have to understand that even though you have technology, tapi in the end you still have to choose, handpick the article manually, because you know some criteria yang not relevant, so you just take it out. Kemudian, tak boleh jalan. Ada. Cuba next kan? Ada lagi tak? Okay, so this is how you write ya. Setelah, after you do the screening process, you took out 58 article. Okay, 58 article has been excluded because they did not fulfill the theme of the that's not related to social sciences subjects ya. Mereka tidak didasarkan pada and those yang excluded study was not based on empirical procedure, and then the themes did not focus on organizational performance in halal industry. Okay, so after you have gone through this tahap pencarian, tadi kita panggil apa tadi yang first tadi? Apa tadi yang first tadi? Yang tadi semua tahap pencarian dan seleksi yang systematic procedure, screening apa benda semua tadi. 20, after you have done all these 4 proses tadi, yang mana yang ini?
FEB-UM.
Yang mana ini? After you have done all this, identification. After you have done all this, identification, screening, and eligibility. Okay, after you have done all this, screen sharing is stopped. Lagi dibuka lagi yang tadi. Nota. Ya, betul. Okay. Mana tadi? Okay, ini. Yang slide 32. Okay. Alright. After you have done all this level tadi daripada identification and whatnot, 20 articles been selected. Those articles represent all sectors in halal industry. So itu adalah konteks ya, yang the research context that you want to do. And these all articles use empirical research ya. Okay, so in the end you have to look at the quality of the article, not quantity. Okay, quality not quantity, and this must be confirmed by the experts. Mesti tunjuk pada experts in the area. For example, I am the expert, I have another researcher, so we will two work together. Okay, so if you are a student, you can ask your supervisor, okay, and you appoint another lecturer to evaluate the quality, whether they are relevant or not. Okay, and this will be in the form of mutual agreement. So you can use assessment tools, scales, checklist. You provide lah checklist tu you can download from internet, ada banyak different format. So show the article, give to the lecturer, and then ask them to do the assessment, whether it's relevant or not. Ya, okay. Boleh dibuka artikel yang saya send, yang bahasa Indonesia, yang dari yang dihantar, sudah dihantar ya? Okay, I give you one example.
Final article.
Yes, final article. Okay, this article that I want to share with you is an article written by an undergraduate student from this University of Malang. Yeah, okay, impressive.
Yeah.
She followed this class last year, yeah, and she managed to write a very good article. Of course, she contacted me and asked me questions, and then I trained her, and then she managed. Finally, she managed to do this. Okay, kalau dilihat di sini, okay, analisis learning management system. Ini bukan yang final ya, kerana yang final adalah a translated version. Dia telah translate in English ya. Ini yang draft ya. Okay, so gimana ini di sini? Itu. Okay, tolong keluarkan dia ke tepi. Okay. Okay, ditepikan.
Di pinggiran aja.
Okay. Ya, yang cantik itu di pinggir. Okay, ini adalah paper yang belum ditranslate ya. Okay, and this is written by Novira. Novira ini adalah pelajar S1. S1 ya, bukan S2, S1. Okay, daripada Department of German Language, student. Ya, student Bu Primadiana ya. Iya. Because last year I conducted this training with students from language department. Okay, so this is okay, you tengok tujuan penelitian ini boleh dibesarkan enggak? Zoom lagi ya supaya okay, yang itu. Alright. Nah, okay. Okay, lihat ya. Tujuan ini objektif. Now, apa objektifnya? Mengetahui, she wants to understand implementasi LMS, Moodle, and Edmodo. Dua. LMS, Learning Management System, di Moodle dan di Edmodo. So, number one, implementasi yang diterapkan dalam pembelajaran. Number one. Number two, the feature of the LMS. Number one, implementation. Number two, feature. Dan number three, the influence of LMS towards students' cognitive ability. Tiga objektif. Okay? So, method penelitian SLR using Scopus, okay, and Taylor Francis yang dipandu using, ini adalah protokol yang dia gunakan, iaitu Prisma. Ini saya belum ajarkan lagi di dalam ini ya. Ini nanti advance lagi. Kemudian ini menggunakan Prisma. Or you can just Google what is Prisma, you just follow je, very easy. To analyze the data. Sebab itu kita belum belajar hari ini, because Prisma is a method, is a protocol on how you analyze your data. Tapi nanti ada di dalam ini, you can check. Hasil pencarian database electronic article berfokus to, so the finding focus on number one, implementation, number two, feature, number three, the learning outcome of the LMS ya. So literature review, this SLR found 4 indicator level. Okay, number one, in the implementation, she found this 4 level. Number one, in the implementation, they will do introduction, and then number two, they will do registration. Number 3, they will do they will give learning materials, and number 4, they have evaluation. So in the implementation of LMS, always include these 4 process. Itu yang dia jumpa itu. And then feature, she found that in in the in the Moodle and Edmodo, feature yang digunakan can be categorized into 4: communication feature, course content feature, course delivery, and assignment feature. And then yang last objective adalah tentang learning outcome kan, implementation learning outcome tu kepuasan can influence student satisfaction, their involvement, their learning experience, and the activity, the effectiveness of the study, give them motivation, and then to increase the result of the study. Okay, so finally, this is the final finding. The use of LMS and Moodle Edmodo were able to increase students' cognitive learning outcome and has big potential to be used in German language learning. So that was the findings. Okay, so you tengok dekat sini, ini pendahuluan, dia akan bagi literature review biasa. What is e-learning, what is LMS, and so on. And then, okay, method penelitian. SLR. What is SLR? You give some literature, and then she explained about Prisma. What is Prisma? Prisma protocol is standard for you to analyze your data. Okay, so you evaluate and you check the quality of your study systematically. Okay, Prisma. Then this is literature review about Prisma. Okay, sumber data. Proses SLR ini using 2 database, Scopus and Taylor Francis. This is inclusion ya, 10 latest 10 years from 2020 to 2022 online, and these are the search string. Ini search string dia. Okay, ya ini ya. Okay. Okay, yang ini di Scopus ya. If you notice di Taylor and Francis cara search stringnya beda. Okay, di mana dia tidak ada kurung. Yeah. So you have to explore lah. Okay. If you're not sure, you can just do, for example, you search aja. You kata search string, example of search string for Sinta, for example. Okay, you boleh check aja dalam internet. Okay, ini adalah pemilihan artikel dia. Dia menggunakan Prisma sebagai guideline ya, berdasarkan Prisma flow diagram. So pertama dia gunakan identifikasi, dia buat search string, dia dapat 651 artikel. Okay, kemudian duplicate, buang duplicate jadi 645. In the screening, refine. Okay, refine dia adalah subjek pendidikan dan sains sosial, jenis dokumen artikel, tahap publikasi final, asal negara dunia, sumber jurnal, and article written in English. So no articles in bahasa. Okay, and then melalui proses penyaringan, 10 artikel disaring dari database Scopus. So setelah disaring, Scopus finalize into 10 artikel sahaja, tapi Taylor and Francis finalize 66 artikel. Okay, eligibility. Now, kemudian dipilih lagi berdasarkan objektif ya. Asalkan berdasarkan objektif, setelah dibuat table, akhirnya okay. Untuk dilihat ini adalah ni ya, dia masukkan semua hasil itu dalam satu table mengikut objektif. So included seluruh artikel yang dipilih memenuhi kriteria, okay, iaitu terkait dengan ilmu sosial berdasarkan data empiris, temuan artikel terfokus pada penerapan LMS to increase students cognitive learning, and also feature ya, and also objektif yang pertama. So ini adalah yang dia buat, yang saya tunjukkan tadi ya. Ini search string, identification, screening, eligibility. Akhirnya setelah dibuang yang tidak ikut kriteria ini, hanya 19 sahaja final articles to be included. Okay? So ini prosesnya dia. Okay. Ini karakteristik. Okay. Dari Ghana, dari Taiwan, dari China, ini adalah jumlah artikel. 4 dari Turki, 3 dari Taiwan, 2 dari Spanyol, Serbia. Okay, so she plotted like this. Ini saya suruh dia plot ikut. So dia pun explain penelitian ini dilakukan di Turki, dalam kurungan ini penulisnya dan sebagainya. Kemudian tahun dia buat graf. Tahun 2014, 2000 ini jadi tahun itu dijadikan begini. Jurnal publikasi ada yang di sini ini nama-nama jurnal. Okay. Kemudian okay, and then dia tulis bidang sains sosial, penelitian dalam bidang pendidikan 63%, ilmu sosial 37%, and then dia bikin ini pie chart. Kemudian table 1 semua artikel berdasarkan tema. Okey, jadi dia list untuk implementasi ini artikel yang included. Ini negaranya. Untuk feature ini. Untuk pengaruh learning ini. Okey? Okey, ini findings. Okey, ini findings, ini temanya. Daripada articles yang she read about implementation, she found that there are 4 sub-themes under those articles. So you have theme and sub-themes. Under features, 1, 2, 3, 4 sub-themes. She found 4 features. Ini she found 4 process in the implementation, 4 processes. Ini she found 4 effect. Ya, outcomes, cognitive outcomes. Okay. Kemudian dia buat macam ni. Dia jadikan table. What is this table? Pemahaman. So yang lebih detail ya. Ya, begini. Tema dan subtema. Penulis, implementasi, yang mana ada, yang tak ada, tak di ni kan. Okay. And then okey. Kemudian so nanti dia tulis kalau penulis ini apa findingsnya dalam ini sekarang yang lebih detail untuk implementasi sahaja. Table ini terkait implementation saja. Okey. Lebih detail kan? Okey, table ini pula terkait features. What are the features? Dan table ini terkait cognitive outcome. Hasil cognitive outcome. Ya. Yeah. Nampak kan? Very systematic. And then pembahasan implementasi learning management system, kemudian dia membahas. She explain, elaborate based on objective lah. Number 1, she elaborate on implementation. Implementation and then kemudian features, she elaborate on features, pengaruh, elaborate on pengaruh. Okay. Ini validity. Validity dia menggunakan 4 pakar, iaitu saya sendiri, ahli learning management system Dr. Asep, ahli management asistennya dan ahli hasil belajar kognitif. Okay. So tujuan adalah untuk menguji the validity of the article so that we can confirm that all the articles are relevant. Okay. Dia menggunakan okay. So ini dia table. She put this in the form of table, hasil uji validasi artikel terpilih. So sama ada the relevancy from the expert on SLR, Okay, expert on cognitive, expert on each and every one. So she look at the validity, yeah. And then score validity ini dilakukan Gregory scale. So didapati bahawa 0.95 validity sangat tinggi. So this is methodologically this article has everything. So memang ternyata boleh dipublish di Scopus semua detail methodology. Remember ya, S1 ini bukan S2 bukan S3. S1. And then kesimpulan gitu, and then object yeah. Alright? Okay, boleh stop sharing yang ini ya. So itu example of research an article, a first draft, first try of SLR article. Not bad, yeah? Not bad, kan? So she included everything that I taught her satu persatu. Yeah. So of course, yeah, masa dia menulis tu, she called me, Doctor, please help me. How do I don't know how to analyze. Dia kata, dia stop sampai literature review. And then dia call saya, dia kata, Doctor, I don't know how to analyze. And then I gave her my article. I told her to follow my articles. Yang saya tunjukkan contoh yang halal tadi. I told her, follow this. So remember, criteria for SLR is that it can be replicated. Metodologinya sangat jelas. Everybody else can follow and rewrite based on your area of research. The methodology, everybody can follow. Okay, you just take this article, my article, or anybody else article. Dalam database ada banyak. You do research, you do Google Scholar search, you will find many SLR article. Pick one yang relevant to your study, or you want to use my article, you want to anybody else article, doesn't matter. Pick one, follow. So protokol untuk analisis ada yang Prisma, ada yang ROSES, ROSES, and many more. So you tengok dia pakai protokol apa. ROSES, for example, what is ROSES? So you want to understand ROSES protocol? Search lah di internet. Prisma, what is Prisma? Dr. Rosmiza did not teach us in detail what is Prisma. Doesn't matter. Go to internet and study Prisma. Okay, so senang saja. Janji you have time to do this, kan? Mesti ada masanya. So for lecturer, I know you don't have time, but you have to motivate your students. Make sure that under your guidance, they have the guts, they have the spirit, they have the motivation to write SLR. Remember, not only for postgraduate students, yeah, for undergraduate pun boleh. Okay, so you must motivate your students to do this. You must guide your students to do this. Okay, and make sure that the number of SLR articles produced by your students increase from time to time. Okay, so yeah, so let's read the question. Betul? Yeah. Okay, chat. Yeah.
We have trouble. Saya terpental dari Zoom.
Oh, mouse-nya udah ya? So you buka di kawasan ruang chat ya.
Atau introvert mic-nya terus. Iya. Terus boleh pinjam mic-nya.
Oh ya boleh.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Miza, for a really great and productive session today you have. All right, dear participant, now we come to the question and answer session. There will be 2 sessions. And each session is for 3 questions. Now, if you would like to ask a question, please raise your hand and I will call on you to ask the question. And please identify yourself, and you can also put the question in the chat box on Zoom. All right, now we can see in the Zoom, Miss Lohana Juariah asking.
Yang atas kali ada yang
Yeah.
dinaikkan.
Indra kurang ke atas. Kurang ke atas. Chatnya.
Bukan.
Disco.
Itu kan di bawah. Naikkan lagi.
Nah. Okay.
Iya.
All right, the first question is, when we apply this identification tool or phrase sourcing, wildcard, truncation, Boolean operator in a scientific database, based on your explanation, is it true that we apply all these tools together, then you will get the more valid and relevant literature toward the research we do?
Betul sekali. Okay.
Yes, correct. Okay, so you have 100,000 of research findings in the databases, kan? So how do you narrow down the research findings? Choose only the one relevant to your study. Okay, so itulah kegunaan identification. All right, so you do this so that in the end, you will only read research that are relevant to your study with the inclusion and exclusion criteria. Tengok ya, daripada berapa tadi? Puluhan ribu, reduce ke ribuan, reduce to ratusan, reduce to puluhan. In the end, those are really relevant, quality, high quality, highly relevant research. Barulah rasa worth reading because those articles are related to you. Okay, next question.
The next question is still from Miss Lohana.
Okay.
How do we know that our SLR technique we apply for is the best method in terms of validity and reliability, provide best result?
Okay, how do you know that your SLR technique that you apply is the best method in terms of validity and reliability? Tadi kan saya sudah tunjukkan. Yang pertama, mesti gunakan protokol. Okay, your study must be guided by protocols. Okay, ini ada di slide yang satu lagi kerana itu advance ya. Ya, ada beberapa protocols untuk SLR. Okay, but you don't have to wait for me. You can search in the internet SLR protocols. You will find few protocols. Ada different protocols developed for quantitative, for qualitative, you know. So ada juga research yang ada data kan yang dibuat menggunakan qualitative methodology. So ada protokol juga untuk itu. So you use protocols, kemudian yang kalau di artikel tadi ada experts who validate your articles that you have selected kan. Finally, after you have selected all the final articles, you cari pula expert to validate kan. So tadi kalau tadi yang digunakan Novira tadi 1, 2, 3, 4. Kemudian you tabulate, kemudian you gunakan validity and reliability punya scale ya. Untuk mengetahui keabsahan your ni. So in the end your everything itu adalah dipandu systematic methodology. Okay, so dia relevant. Right. Apa lagi? So far, what I know is only quantitative and qualitative research. Is this SLR method different from the other two method? No, SLR ini bukan method untuk mengkaji data research ya. SLR ini adalah method for analyzing concept, analyzing literature review. Yang quantitative and qualitative that you asked, M. Zainuddin ya. Thank you for asking, good question. The quantitative and qualitative research, that is a methodology to analyze research data. Okay. SLR, bukan LSR ya, SLR adalah metode untuk mengkaji literature review. Okay, previous research you want to analyze supaya you dapat you boleh pilih cream of the articles and you analyze lagi penulisannya. Itu SLR ya. Okay. Okay. Please bawa lagi. Ada lagi? Okay, udah. Any question from the floor yang angkat tangan? Anybody?
I will ask him.
Sorry? Bisa difahami? Penerangannya? Ya, faham ya? Want to say anything? Okay.
Dr. Rose, maybe I will ask some question.
Okay.
Before we close about today. Before you say that for someone who write on chapter 1 or chapter 2, they can also publish if they sure it will be great paper, SLR paper. So my question is how we can be sure if it will be nice paper or good paper that will be published, and how we can find the expert for the assessment.
Okay.
And maybe how many people that we can be expert to do that assessment? Okay, thank you.
Okay. How do you sure? You have to try first lah. Okay. Never tell yourself that you are not capable of producing good article. Do not put that in your mind. Always tell your own self that I must start something. I must start something, and along the process, I will improve my article. Harus dimulakan, harus dimulai. You must start with something. Even though you are not sure how, at the end, this article will be, whether it's a good article or not, doesn't matter. Who cares? The most important thing is, I have started. Saya akan memulakan dan saya akan pastikan setelah ini bermula, once I have started this, I will use all these guidelines that I have in the internet, from this lecture, from everywhere, to help me in producing a good article. Student ini yang menulis, semasa menulis, stres banget dia. Doctor, I don't know, dia kata. I don't know how to analyze. My supervisor asked me to write an SLR paper. Okay, I stopped until literature review. After that, I don't know what to do. Please help me. Okay, so I guided her. So this is what exactly you should do. This is what exactly you should do. Start something and find help. Whether from your supervisor, from other lecturers, or from the internet. Okay, students nowadays are very lucky kan, because you have internet. You can learn from the internet. Sometimes you don't even have to go to school pun. You stay in front of your computer and you are a very bright student, you can just learn everything. Kan? Tapi physical class ada kelebihannya. Okay, not only you go to school, not only because you want to learn. Why do you go to school? Because of communication. You meet with people, you mingle around, you learn about relationships, you learn about failure, you learn about success. Itu adalah additional reason why you go to school. Tapi from the internet, you can learn a lot of things also. Jadi start writing, and then when you got stuck, find help. Whether from the internet or from your lecturers, or can text me, or anybody. Okay. And kesahihan itu, validity and reliability methodology kan, minimum is 2. Yeah, minimum you boleh dapat 2 expert. So for example, because I wrote in branding, for example, so I might want to find branding expert. Satu lagi, I might want to find SLR expert. Ya, to help me. So sudah ada subject matter expert, methodology expert. Dua pun sudah cukup. Kemudian you can do the validity and apa ni yang tadi tu test tadi, Gregory tadi. Okay, ada banyak lagi. So how do you know what are the methodology of finding validity and reliability punya ni kan? You can just read articles and you look at how other writers do their validity and reliability test. Ada banyak. So you can choose which one is more relevant to your study. Okay, so it's doable ya? Doable. Yeah. Yeah. Ada question lagi? Any other question? Dah ada yang angkat tangannya. Audience ini faham semua ya? Audience semuanya faham ya? Dah ada yang mau menanyakan soalan? Wah, bagus ya, saya jelas sekali penerangannya. Anybody?
Probably then, is there any suggestion to start?
Yeah, suggestion to start. Okay. Okay. First step is maybe during this, because you just been introduced to this kan, so you are not sure macam mana nak mulakan. So first step is you search in the academic database, search for SLR and related to your area of study. For example, your area of study is SLR in branding strategy, for example. Systematic SLR paper on branding strategy. You kan sudah tahu cara untuk search string tu kan? So you try to find those papers, look at their objectives. Itu yang pertama sekali. Look at their objective and see how they put their objective, how they answer the objective. Itu sahaja. Familiarize yourself with SLR articles and how they put your objective and research question. Ya, mohon maaf, need to go for another meeting. Thank you, Dr. Nangkula, for joining us from Malaysia. Dr. Nang, thank you so much. Professor Nangkula. Thank you.
It's a great sharing, yeah.
Yeah, appreciate you joining us today. Yeah, too bad you cannot join us in Malang. Yeah.
From the beginning.
Yeah, Alhamdulillah.
Okay. Dr. Umi will be in Malang until when? Yeah. Just
until 30th of this Friday. Datang ni.
Yeah, 30th.
Oh lah.
Datanglah bila when you.
Next month I'll be in Malang also. 30th until 26.
Oh, until 26. Tak dapat jumpa Dr. Nang ya. InsyaAllah.
Okay. Sorry to disturb your
Yeah, it's okay. Thank you. Appreciate.
Dr. Nang.
Ya, Profesor Nangkula, orang yang hebat juga join ya. Ya, ternyata mahu belajar ini sampai ke level apa pun. Sometimes bukan kerana ini kan metodologi yang baru ya, tergolong included, classified as new methodology. So sometimes some scholars, they are very expert in their area, but this new methodology they might not have exposed to it kan. So yeah, learning is until you die, okay, until we die. So learning process is ongoing kan. So tengok itu tadi Profesor Nangkula masih lagi belajar kan. So because ini new methodology, not all people know how to, not all scholars know how to write based on using this methodology kan. Yeah, okay. So yeah, tadi yang first step tadi, remember ya. Find articles, look at their look at the objective, and then see how they answer the objective. And then pergi ke second article pula, lihat objektifnya. Ini sangat membantu. Ya, lihat objektif dan how they answer the objective. And then, so this will help you in writing your own objective. So nanti you akan dapati bahawa, oh oh begini bisa, begini juga bisa, you know, so you find different ways of writing your objective. Nanti you akan bisa sesuaikan, adjust to fit your study. Sesuaikan dengan study anda. Itu first stage ya. Saya doakan semoga selepas ini semua yang mengikuti latihan ini akan at least membaca sekurang-kurangnya 5 SLR articles ya. Di Sinta ke di mana-mana saja. Okay? And find 5 articles and tengok, jot down the objective, see how they put their objective in the form of article, macam mana ditulis, and macam mana mereka menjawab objektif tersebut. Okay? Boleh ya? Bisa? Bisa? Ya, semangat nih. Okay, very good. Semangat, semangat. Okay, next.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Rosmiza, for the explanation. Please allow me also to take some highlight from today's session. The first one is systematic letter review offer a number of benefits. For starter, they deliver a clear and comprehensive overview of available evidence and on given topic. Moreover, systematic literature review also help identify research gap in our current understanding of a field. When we write systematic literature review, we have to decide to focus on what topic, maybe domain or thematic review, or theory review, or methodology review. Then it will help us to start to write our paper in focus way. All right, finally, we come to the end of part of our workshop today. On behalf on Non-DJ International Training Committee, we would like to say thanks again to Dr. Rosmiza for a great, informative, and interesting talk, and to audience and for active participation. We hope this workshop will be beneficial for everyone. Thank you for your attention, and be sure to attend another workshop for tomorrow, still with Dr. Rosmiza, and have a great rest for your day. Wassalamualaikum. Yeah, framing analyst, still with Dr. Rosmiza, tomorrow at 1 p.m. 13th, yes, 1 p.m. Okay, thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you. Thank you for coming, everyone.
Dokter.
Thanks.
Welcome to Manajemen Study Program
Universitas Negeri Malang.
Our vision is to be one of the best management study program in Indonesia. Management study program established on 1999, located in Malang, East Java, Indonesia. Since then, the study program has been a place for students and academics alike to engage in academic discussion through conference, seminars, internship, and learning activities.
It's called value proposition. Maybe you may ask about what is value proposition?
Technology has changed a lot of things in business and management. The higher education has significant contribution to it. Management study program consists of 5 research clusters, namely financial management, marketing, HR, entrepreneurship, and Islamic business. We have an exhaustive curriculum that caters all research clusters. Our staffs are a high-quality academic with 5 full professors, 9 associate professors, 25 assistant professors, and 14 lecturers, who are graduated from different countries such as United Kingdom, Taiwan, Indonesia, Netherlands, Malaysia, and Australia. To be one of the best management study program, we need to have a great research portfolio. We do joint research with our partner professor from different countries such as Turkey, France, Malaysia, and Taiwan. Our students are also participating in international activities such as ISMA, ICT, and exchange program. This experience for students are priceless and life-changing experience.
The Management Study Program is not only a place to meet friends or learn things in university. In Management Study Program, we get many opportunities to join business competition, internship, and organization that help us become outstanding students. Through innovative learning methods and qualified staff, the study program helps us as a new generation of management students to achieve our dreams and ready to help local economics through business.
We have 3 laboratories. The first one is Integrated Management Laboratory. It is a laboratory to study econometrics, statistics, and statistics for business. This laboratory also supports financial courses such as